Hello and welcome to Ginny's Horse Product Review. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to talk to you about the advantages to keeping your horse at home. If you've ever dreamed about looking out your window and seeing your horses, you are not alone. That being said, there's pros and cons to keeping your horse at home. Pro: it's generally cheaper to keep your horse at home, especially if you have multiple horses. This is a great way to save money on food, labor, gas, and the commute that you would spend going to a boarding barn. When it comes to keeping horses, the cheaper option is usually keeping them at home. Pro: you get to feed and manage your horse the way you see fit. You don't have to rely on barn management or potentially unreliable barn workers to make sure that your horse is being properly taken care of. Every detail of your horse's day can be carefully managed by you. You can buy the exact hay and feed you want your horse to have and make sure they're getting it around the clock or whatever times you want to make sure that they are fed. This is like the ultimate for those of us who like to control things and make sure every single detail is taken care of. Keeping your horse at home, you can just properly schedule that any way you want. The third biggest advantage to keeping your horses at home is that it is very hard work. And that is an advantage because you're gonna stay really fit and in shape mending the fences, mucking out stalls, cleaning paddocks, and feeding horses, getting up very early every single morning. Who needs a gym membership? You're gonna handle all the manure removal yourself. If you've never stacked hay bales or carried feed bags from your truck to the tack room, you're gonna learn about it. Keeping your horses at home is a lot of hard work. But for a lot of us, it's a labor of love. I've kept my horses at home before and I've treasured those memories and the time that I got to spend with them. And nothing beats going out to see your horse in the middle of the night on Christmas Eve when it's snowing, right behind your house. That's so special, and those are the kind of the memories that you are gonna treasure forever. Not only can you manage your horse exactly as you see fit and make sure they're getting the feed and hay and water and everything they need just as you want it managed, you're gonna be able to keep a really close eye on your horse because you're gonna see them every day. You are gonna be the one to see if they have injuries or any kind of ailments going on. You don't have to worry about somebody not seeing that or them being overlooked in a big pasture at a big boarding barn or in one of however many stalls there are. Ultimately, keeping your horse at home is a really great way to bond with your horse and get closer to them, do hard work, and save money. Now that we've talked about the advantages, I'm just gonna add a few disadvantages to keeping your horses at home, and you may have already heard some of these, or you kind of know the opposite thing if you saw my video about the advantages of boarding your horse. One of the biggest disadvantages to keeping your horses at home is the lack of amenities. For a lot of us who have kept our horses at home, you might have a pasture, stalls, feed room, tack room, but you might not have a nicely graded arena, a round pen, a hot wash rack, access to trails depending on where you live. So you really, a lot of times, are gonna sacrifice the amenities when you are keeping your horses at home. Another disadvantage to keeping your horses at home is that you're pretty much tethered to the place. You can't really leave town that easily. Vacations are super difficult to plan because you have to get a farm sitter in advance and make sure that person can follow all your directions. It's gonna cost extra money. It can be really hard to find somebody to trust with your horses while you're out of town. Also, horses really like to be on a schedule and they don't want you sleeping in on Saturday mornings. You need to be there at whatever time you feed them, twice a day or however many times a day that you feed them, or they're gonna get upset. They can develop ulcers if you're late. You have to be very meticulous with your schedule and your time when you keep your horses at home. If you've ever been around a barn at dinner time, you know that horses can pretty much tell time magically. They know when it's 5:01, 5:02. If you are 30 seconds late, you will hear about it. Another disadvantage of keeping your horse at home is that you may be so exhausted from all the chores and the hard work that you're not going to be riding your horse as much. And I know it seems counterintuitive that you would have your horse right in your backyard, available at any time, and you would be riding less. But trust me, that's how it happens. And also, you're gonna miss out on that community aspect of a boarding barn. It can be a little bit lonelier to keep your horses at home. You may have to trailer out to go riding with friends or have somebody trailer in. and you just have to be prepared for that. And for some of us, especially if you have older retired horses or things like that, that's totally okay. So again, you have to weigh out what is important to you and what are the reasons why you want to keep your horses at home. So again, there are some really great advantages to keeping your horse at home, just like there are with boarding. Each situation is different, each person, each horse is different. So you have to make the choice that's right for you and your horse. And if you can't keep your horses at home, but you really long for that bonding and feeding them and taking care of them, I recommend horse camping. Horse camping is the best of both worlds because if you board your horse, you can take them somewhere for the weekend or a week or 2 weeks, and you can do all their care, feeding, mucking, you know, spending that time with them, checking on them at night, and really enjoy that aspect of horse keeping. And then when you're exhausted and tired at the end of the week or the weekend, you can drop your horse back off at home at their boarding stable, and then you can go home and get a shower and sleep in the next day. If you're interested in horse camping, definitely go check out some of my other videos. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I love horse camping and I've been all over and I love going to new camps. So if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comments, and until next time, happy trails.